Hi, I'm Blythe Stevens of A Blythe Coach, dance education and coaching to move through life with balance, grace, and power. I'm super excited about today's topic. I have been such a personal growth and development, organization, productivity nerd for as long as I can remember. And today, in service of our goals for the upcoming year, wrapping up 2020 and preparing for a successful 2021, I thought I would drill in a little bit more on personal healthy habit formation. So that's what we're up to today. We're going to look at my history of tracking and trying to build healthy habits, what I'm currently doing, and I'm going to share a lot of great resources if you're interested in adding some more of your own healthy habits in the coming year. I'll probably do a whole separate video on this, but part of my tracking long term for my healthy habits is my powerful portfolio, which I originally started under that name after I read Morgan Rich's book, Launch Your Life. And super great book. I will probably, like I said, do a whole other video on this, but here is where I have stored some of my historical attempts and successful attempts at building healthy habits. Next time, we'll also talk about having a stand or a theme or a vision for the coming year, the coming 5 years, and the coming 10 years as well, and also what my personal vision for these time periods is. If you're interested in that, do stay tuned. Back when I trained as a life coach with accomplishment coaching, I was first introduced to the idea of using some sort of a tracking system to hold myself accountable to new habits that I would like to learn. And my earliest attempts at habit tracking look like this. And also this. These are printed spreadsheets. I would use Google Sheets now, but they were probably made on Excel. And at that time, this is back in 2007 or 8, and going forward, my goals were to get a certain amount of sleep, wake up at a certain time each day. Ooh, I had brushed my teeth twice a day on there. That was a freebie. I've always been consistent at that, but apparently I wanted some credit on that one. Healthy eating, including nutritious smoothies and packing a homemade lunch, gyrokinesis and Pilates for my physical well-being. There was physical therapy and things like curriculum planning, journaling. Most of these, my expectation was only a couple times a week. Some were daily habits, some were weekly habits. What does this one look like? Ah, yes, here I've got some water drinking goals, a multivitamin, again, health stuff, health stuff. Ooh, organization, like filing and desk clearing on a regular basis, reading and study, nice personal care things like a mani-pedi, napping, dancing, singing, community service. Ooh, even crying and venting, taking walks, financial tracking, meditation, and spiritual practice. However, some of these habits were not at that time adopted over the long term as a daily or weekly practice. They turned out to be inconsistent, and I didn't really master at that time what I really need to become consistent and reliable at these tasks. We were encouraged through the coach training to do whatever it takes, find out what we personally need to build healthy habits. But I was not 100% successful. It's not a perfection game, but it's taken me the intervening years to become truly successful at some of these habits that I declared even back then. So then back in 2019, I discovered this really beautiful template by, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Atelier. It's ATILIAY.com. She has a bunch of free templates on there, such as this one, which I used for 2019. So pretty. And this is more of a year-long vision. And again, I'll talk about that more next week, next time, for 2021. But it kept me present to my overall intention and purpose for my life. Three main things I want to accomplish in that year, which were my teacher credential, which I did accomplish, working in education, and moving to Germany. And I did all of these things. Very exciting. That's cool to look back at. But it also had places to look, like people I wanted to see, places to go, things to try, recipes to cook, books to read, and projects to make. So that was kind of the visual appeal of that sort of format somehow made it all the more enticing for me. And that's something I've realized that I really want and need to help make these things consistent, is some sort of aesthetic appeal. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be, for me, satisfying and beautiful. So I went a little bit more free form on, again, more next week, but on this year's vision and goals, but it is following that same basic format. Some of the same ideas in terms of looking at specific themes and how they're related to who I am and what I'm up to in the world. In addition to that annual planner, there's also a monthly planner, which I found so useful and have since translated into a format I'll show you in a minute that goes into my journal rather than on separate sheets, but I use these basic areas that she has us look at. Looked like that, keeping you present to the overall goals and vision, but then also drilling in on some monthly goals. In this case, I was working on the Artist's Way and also a 21-day meditation challenge with Deepak Chopra. I wanted to get a new bicycle helmet and take some rides. There was a yoga training weekend for my yoga teacher training, as well as some other challenges that I was taking on. And I love how it has both personal and work growth goals. Love, love, love that. And it encourages me to take on the new practice of having an end of week and end of month reflection, where I really notice what I accomplished that I stated I wanted to do and what was incomplete that month, and decide to carry it over into the next month or to let it go or move it to a different place on my calendar. In addition to those annual and weekly looks, there's also a day-to-day over the course of a month habit tracker. Ooh, this is where it gets really juicy. This is also the July version of that. Gosh, it's so pretty. And I realized I love color. I have a beautiful set of Prismacolor colored pencils that I use to color these in, and it's just so pretty. And I have it color coded to specific activities that I've been engaging with. Ooh, this one I did yoga every single day, meditated all but one day, practiced German every day, gratitude, journaling, reading, morning pages, love notes, tarot interpretation, moon cycles. Down here's more weekly things like my micro workout and physical therapy, and also playing music. So exactly which habits I'm working on in any given moment do add and change and evolve over time, but this kind of tracking system has been, for me personally, revolutionary. And it looks a lot like the one I had before, but somehow the fact that it's pretty has helped me a ton. The Artist's Way has helped completely validate me in doing it how I want to and whatever works for me, because you know what? Your internal artist is a child and you have to nurture them as such. Ooh, I love this one here, actually. Check it out. This is actually May of, I'm not even sure, I'll have to look back, but early on in tracking my habits in this way, I only had a few. I didn't start with a whole bunch of different projects all at once. I started only with yoga, and then I added meditation and daily German practice and journaling and gratitude step by step after that. So only after I had established a really consistent yoga practice did I add in a really consistent meditation practice, which made complete sense at that point, and then so on. Those beautiful trackers were huge in building greater consistency with my healthy habits. And this summer, actually starting in August, I transferred that into more of a bullet journal or notebook format. It gets a little messier looking, but to be honest, I like a little bit of mess with my organization. It feels to me, I've realized, more human, more creative, sort of more gritty. So I put August and September goals into a notebook format, which was really great. Same sort of checklist that gave me monthly personal growth and work goals, as well as an end of month reflection. And then I also brought my tracking in all the habits into the notebook, including physical therapy, which I've been experimenting with different ways to optimize my tracking and my delivering on being consistent with that habit. The Artist Way encouraged a weekly check-in on things like artist states, morning pages, breakthroughs, synchronicity. And so I've also started doing a weekly reflection about my goals for those weeks and what sorts of targets I reached. And that's been a great addition. And here's September, which includes some physical therapy and my yoga, meditation, German, gratitude, all that good stuff. More weekly check-ins and reviews. Here are October and November. Try to start making it a little bit festive, Halloween and fallish. That really motivates me. And then finally, we have a little preview of December and my brainstorm about for last week's vlog about what I actually did accomplish in the last year. And I was very surprised actually at how long the list was, which just goes to show how important it is to acknowledge the strides that we're making, the progress that we're seeing, and what we're accomplishing. Otherwise, it will be invisible and we won't feel that sense of motivation and inspiration to keep going. Last year, I benefited so much, and I will link below the book Atomic Habits. And two of the key takeaways I had from reading that year are one, that the most effective habits that we build will be ones that are connected to our sense of identity, what it is we're trying to be and manifest in the world. And so if that habit that we want to build is disconnected from who we want to be, we won't be effective in establishing that habit. And the other thing is to make them atomic, which is as small and manageable as possible and not biting off more than we can chew. I already discussed accountability, which is super key. Sometimes that needs to come from an outside source, and that's fine. It really definitely helps to have an accountability buddy or a coach to help with new habits. And also these sorts of tracking sheets and that kind of fun thing. Rewards when we're actually accomplishing those habits or activities that we mean to do, bullet journaling. And I'll share a lot more resources in my companion blog post to this video and to the podcast. Gosh, there's so many more that I found inspirational over time. I hope that one or more of these will be helpful for you as well. One last tip is that there's no better time to start practicing a new habit than right now, right this moment, today. Don't wait until 2021 to start taking small steps towards your goal. Imagine if you arrive on January 1st and you're already gaining momentum, you've already gotten started, and you can say, I'll certainly be successful with this habit this year because I've already gotten all this traction and all of these results. especially because it's important to only add one small habit at a time. That way you can get going with that and get it consistent before you start adding additional activities. On that note, you are invited to join my 2021 meditation challenge. I have found yoga and meditation to be key, like cornerstone habits that have helped me build many of the others that I've taken on in recent years. And so my goal, I've been doing 12 minutes of meditation, only 12 per day. I started with 3 to 5, to be honest, and then was doing guided meditations last year that were between 10 and 15 minutes long. And now I've got 12 minutes of my own meditation practice each day. And I'm adding 1 minute per day each month. So next month, January, I'll be doing 13 minutes, in February, 14 minutes per day, and so forth. My goal is to get to between 20 and 25 minutes consistently every day by the end of the year. So I challenge you to join me, or let me know in the comments below what particular healthy habit you're hoping to build now and in the coming year. What habit have you been contemplating adding into your daily routine? What sorts of challenges are you facing to consistently building that habit? And what larger goal does that habit support for you? Let me know once again in the comments below. If you enjoy this sorts of content on personal growth and development, it certainly supports all of the other goals we might have, whether they be dancing goals, life goals, career, or personal relationships. Please let me know how I can support you. Subscribe and like my channel. Click that little notification bell to be notified of all my future videos, and check out my website at ablythecoach.com. That's ABLYTHECOACH.com.